Oh. We'll be starting at 7 o'clock. If someone can, is someone on Facebook? I'd like to know that Facebook is live. I'm having trouble telling. So if you could post a comment, that would be great. Hmm. Anybody out there on Facebook seeing this? Please post something. Hmm. Cindy, I think that we're. I see you. You're the only one there. I've got my video off for obvious reasons, although I'll turn it on in a minute. I know that we're on YouTube, but I'm not sure that we're on Facebook. Can you check? Hmm. Goodness, goodness, goodness. So I'm not sure that we are. I can't verify it, but if you could post a Facebook message and just, or maybe I can do that before we start. Where am I now? About 2 minutes, friends. Can you hear Deborah? Okay, good. Okay. Good evening, friends. I just started us live directly from my laptop on Facebook. It's being persnickety, but YouTube is running out there and it's a good experience. Welcome to Wednesday Night Live Meditation. I'm Rick Beatty. I'm the pastor at Unity of Royal Oak, and I'm streaming this to you live and in real time from my house in Rochester Hills. And it's my honor to have you here. I thought I would explain some of the stuff behind me. The big TV up there is actually a monitor. And when we're doing Zoom calls, like in the morning or Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, I can see a whole lot of people at one time, so it's a little easier for me. And like most of us, I've just hunkered down at home, and I made this my man cave in a big way, so I'm delighted. I also want to share with you that we have a number of things going on online. I'll turn Greg's music down a little bit. And Monday through Friday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we have a Zoom call. And if you don't have the credentials and you need them, just email me, ric@unityofroyaloak.org, and I'll send them to you. We also have on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons lunchtime gathering, and that's at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Same credentials. On Tuesday evenings at 6, we have a live prayer service that's led by our prayer partners, an amazing group of people, 2 of them at a time, and they rotate. So do come, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Bring something to read, something you might like to share, your prayer requests, and we just gather in prayer. And then this Wednesday and Sunday live. And maybe we'll rearrange some things soon. Depends on how long we're in this stay-at-home order, which I'm fine with. I mean, I'm a big-time extrovert, but if this is helping keep people safe, I'm willing to do it. So I want to talk a little bit before we go into the meditation about a couple of things that have come up often lately, and they are the idea of fear. There's a lot of fear going on, and we all know that, and we can feel it in ourselves if we're tuned into ourselves a little bit. I want to share with you what Charles Fillmore said long ago about fear. He quoted Webster saying, "It's a painful emotion marked by alarm, dread, or disquiet." And then Mr. Fillmore went on, "Fear is one of the most subtle and destructive errors that the carnal mind in man experiences. Fear is a paralyzer of mental action. It weakens both mind and body. Fear throws dust in our eyes and hides the mighty spiritual forces that are always with us." So fear paralyzes us. It keeps us from moving, from thinking, keeps us down at the lowest level of our brain, the reptilian brain, where it's just fight, flight, or freeze. I'm afraid of something. I don't know whether I should try to outrun it or just stay where I am. And how do you overcome fear? Fear is cast out by perfect love. To know divine love is to be selfless. And to be selfless is to be without fear. That God-conscious person is filled with quietness and confidence. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that doesn't mean that it doesn't go through your mind once in a while, oh my goodness, what's going on? But we're able to self-regulate ourselves and self-differentiate, pull ourselves back to the center of things. And the whole reason I'm talking about this thing about fear, I read this afternoon, waiting for a class of mine to start, because in the middle of this I'm taking a class right now. And I read about, in psychology, it said this, a psychology website, it said this: "Rarely has the threat of disease occupied so much of our thinking. For weeks, almost every newspaper has stories about the coronavirus pandemic on its front page. Radio and TV programs have back-to-back 24-hour-day coverage. Shut it off." Shut it off. I watch 5 minutes a day. That's enough. It's just too much. But this article went on, these researchers went on to say, depending on who you follow, social media platforms are filled with frightening statistics, practical advice, or gallows humor. All of the above I've seen. As others have already reported, the constant bombardment can result in heightened anxiety. Well, of course it does. Why? We understand that what we focus our attention on, we get more of. If we focus our attention on all the stats, it just raises, it jacks it up in us. But the constant feeling of threat may have other more insidious effects on our psychology. Due to some deeply evolved responses to disease, fears of contagion lead us to become more conformist and tribalistic and less accepting of eccentricity, people who are not like us, right? Our moral judgments become harsher and our social attitudes more conservative when considering issues such as immigration, sexual freedom, and equality. I find this fascinating. Daily reminders of disease may even sway our political affiliations. So here's the antidote to all of this. And I haven't talked about this in a long time, but it seemed like a good time tonight. The fourth dimension, which embraces and encompasses the other three dimensions, is a dimension of realization. The fourth dimension is a transcendent realm that Jesus called the kingdom of the heavens. Here one can discern the trend of spiritual forces and see with the spiritual vision of the Christ mind. So we can elevate our thinking to enter the fourth dimension. And I'm seldom there. I am not. Jane Hart, I think she lived there. I remember meditating with Jane. But with practice, like everything else, with practice we get better. The fourth dimension, which embraces and encompasses the other three, is also realization, the doing away with time and space and all conditions. And a condition is what coronavirus is. The human mind, with its limited reasoning faculties, is bound by time and space and conditions and can get no farther into the spiritual than reason will take it. Well, our reason isn't what we need now. We need something beyond our ability to reason. That's why we meditate. So that we have attained the consciousness of pure being, the fourth dimensional mind. So tonight, I'm going to take us into a meditation. We'll stay there a bit. We're meditating to the heart of oneness with Reverend Gregory Brett's permission. I'm grateful to him for it. And I was so surprised yesterday to find that my doctor had watched our Easter Sunday service. So doctor, if you're on here, this is how you meditate, because we were talking about it in the office yesterday. So I'm going to start by getting the music going. That's what we'll do first. And now I'm going to invite you to get comfortable. Get centered and settled. One thing about being at home, this is my chair. I have two of them. So get settled and centered and bring your attention to your body. Notice your body. One of the things that I've been reflecting on is that with little going on to distract me, I'm more aware of who I am, where I am in time and space than I have been in a long time. So with an awareness in your body, take a deep breath with me. And that just gets us in touch, moves our attention inward a little bit. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Deep breath. Sigh it out. One more deep breath. And sigh it out. The beginning of meditation is to give the mind something to do. So let's begin with giving the mind the job of helping the body relax. Imagine that you're scanning up from the bottoms of your feet, going to scan all the way up to the crown chakra. And as this scan travels through your body, as I mentioned the major muscle groups, allow them to relax. Any place that you're carrying tension, allow it to relax. And normally just noticing that there's tension there is enough. So notice it with the intention that it drain away. So start with the bottoms of your feet. Wiggle your toes. I have my socks off so I can have my toes in my carpet. Wiggle your toes and flex your feet and ankles, and just gently allow them to relax. And now bring your attention up a little bit to your shins and your calves. Just notice if there's any tension there. As you notice it, it drains away. Continuing up your scan through your knees, kneecaps, the back of the knee, the muscles where your buttocks connect into your knee, the thigh muscles where they connect to the kneecap. We are amazingly made, our bodies are, but we're more than a body. We have an amazing consciousness. Continue your scan up the waist area, your abdominal area, the small of your back. As I mention these places, then just relax them. Allow them to relax. Your body knows how to relax. Speak to it. Speak to it. Continuing your scan now up the abdominal area, the solar plexus, your chest muscles, the small of the back, mid-back, between your shoulder blades, and the amazing arms. First of all, your shoulders, a wonderfully complicated, interesting joint. And then allow your upper arms to relax. Your elbows, forearms, wrists, each element of you relaxing gently, easily. And allow that relaxation to now move up through your neck, to your chin, and your cheeks and lips and nose. Everything relaxing. Everything relaxing. And now I'm going to invite you to follow your next breath inward. Just follow it inward. And any noise that you might hear besides this music, let it be simply a reminder for you to return to your breath. As we open our minds to an awareness of the kingdom of the heavens that Jesus called the fourth dimension, or that we call the fourth dimension. He called it the kingdom of the heavens. We allow ourselves to be lifted. We don't have to know how. Just merely keep your mind focused on your breath, or a mantra if you use one, and allow yourself to settle in. To settle in for this time of communion. With communion and connection to all of us, as we take time now to knock on the gates of the heavens. Just continue to notice your breathing, the rhythm of it. Gently in and out. Remember, in this conscious arena, this awareness of that which is bigger, there is no distance. There is no time and space. We are all connected, for we are one. As we spend about 10 minutes together just in the quiet with the music, in communion with Spirit, knocking on heaven's door as it is, then we'll have a guided prayer and meditation as we come out of it. So for now, just follow your breath back inward to that place where you experience the presence of the Most High. Remember, any sound that you might hear is just a reminder to turn within. now I'm going to invite you to imagine a color that represents for you healing, that represents peace. And we're going to imagine our entire planet bathed or wrapped or robed in this color. And for me, that color is always purple, or almost always. So whatever healing color you think of, wrap our planet in that color. And call upon the power of love and your imagination to see our entire planet at peace with each other. Just hold it in consciousness. We don't have to know how that would happen. And world leaders exchanging information with each other about how best to work together. Imagine us all working together. Because we are in this together. We hear it over and over and over. And I'm going to invite you to call to mind one of your favorite people, someone that you miss. It could be someone that serves you coffee, lunch occasionally, someone that you develop a relationship with. Just hold that person in your mind. Right now I'm thinking about the lady that I know who cuts my hair. I'm about to lose one computer. Imagine the world spinning beautifully, wonderfully, free of stress, free of virus. Because it has to start with imagination. It has to start in consciousness. It's where everything starts. It's where all things start. And now call to mind all of our medical people, all of the people still working, the people who've been told that they're important, people working in grocery stores and drugstores and working on our behalf. Bless them. See them, every single person that we encounter is just dealing with their own take on this, how to keep their families safe. We bless them all. And we know that because we are reflections of a single life, a single light, a single love, we will get through this together. We will. And so now come a little further up. As we begin to drift back in consciousness, I'm going to see if I can answer a couple of questions. First of all, thank you for being here tonight. Why? The people on Facebook are asking, what am I looking at? Because Facebook wouldn't take our streaming camera. So I'm looking at our streaming camera and trying to remember to glance at Facebook. But it's not about something to see. It's to meditate. It's for us to be together. I wanted to mention that. And folks, it's an amazing thing that we're actually getting more people participating in our services now than when we're in person. And that doesn't mean we're only going to be online, trust me. We'll be both. Right now for meditation we have 25 people, 26, 27 people. So that's powerful for me. Grateful for the many, many ways that we are finding to connect with each other. The Zoom calls are amazing for me as well. Come and be a part of that. The afternoon, Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. Tuesday evenings, the prayer call at 7 p.m., powerful. And we can't pass the basket, obviously, but if you are inclined to make a contribution to this ministry, if you go to our website, unityofroyaloak.org, or some of you know it as unityroyaloak.org, either way will get you there. There's a black button on the upper left corner that says donate. It'll take you to a page where you have two options. You can always, and by the way, if you know somebody that doesn't have technology, if you would, and they're part of our community, would you please uh, get their information to me again? Rick, R-I-C, no K, R-I-C at unityroyaloak.org, and so that we can reach out to them. We have a bunch of people working very hard. So thank you all for being here tonight. Meditation is an odd thing to do live sometimes, but it feels right to do. So we'll continue to do that as well. I love you, all of you. I'm honored to serve with you. I'm honored that let Cindy Jacques is once again out and checked the stream for me to make sure that we were running, and brought to my attention that one wasn't. It's a great gift. So much love to you all, and as often as I say it, I still mean it. We will get through this together, and sometimes it's Zoom, and sometimes it's a call, and sometimes it's something else. And I think that my Chromebook just died, so the Zoom call died, but we're wrapping up anyway. God bless you. Look after your neighbors from a distance. God bless. Take care.